Okay, so part 2 here. We'll zoom out. Everything seems to be functioning good. I just had, what it really was my mouse. Believe it or not, my mouse went bad, and the last mouse that went bad was 25 years ago. I bought this really cool mouse to work. It had a ball thing instead of you move the whole mouse, and it just quit on me. But when that quit, you knew what it was. What happened a few days ago, I didn't know what it was, and I tried to do a system restart. I couldn't do it. I actually had to revamp my old computer, which was nice because I got some old pictures back. Here's the Dorian. It's the second scale member of the major scale. It has an offset of 1 from the root. Okay, so this chart I've really advanced on, and I guess we're going to have to spend a little time on it. So here's your Dorian scale. If we reassign, the root is 2, but we're going to have an offset of +1. What does that mean? That means we go, let's zoom on in here. We're going to go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice we're following the Dorian pattern as if this was 2, 3, 4. But now it's root 2, 3, but you have to know the pattern. Okay? Even on cello. I found last night when I was doing this, I have to learn these patterns on cello. Now they're the same as guitar patterns, except adding 1 note per pattern, and we'll get to that. That's the next chart. That was supposed to be what today's lesson was going to be. But I forgot I had worked on chart 398 and really improved it. If you remember from last time's lesson, I didn't have any of this on the chart yet. So in Dorian it's usually 2, 3, 4. But we're going to start root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is it good? I don't know. We're just doing it. A lot of times I just have a good feeling, like I should do this, so we do it. And then down the line, down the road, I find out, wow, I'm glad that I did that. So when we reassign a root to any of the modals, like Phrygian would be root 2, 3, Lydian would be root 2, 3, Mixolydian root 2, 3. You can get to the 5th. So let's say in Dorian, root 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're on the 5th of Dorian. So, you know, have you ever had that feeling like I don't really know what the chord, what the scale tone chords, they used to call them scale tone chords. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th of Dorian is what? Aeolian. Okay, so I never really memorized those, and I kind of ignored them. I knew they were there. For instance, in C minor, when you have an Aeolian C minor, its major parent is E flat, but I just kind of ignored that 3 major, you know, because then we had to change the Roman numerals from 3 minor to 3 major, you know. So I didn't like that. I recognized it, but now we're going to use that. So in Dorian, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it gives you, you know where the 5th is, you know where the 4th is. But you gotta apply that offset. So let's look at that. So in Dorian, we have here just an E-shaped D minor, which is Dorian of C, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We apply the offset of +1. 5 plus 1 is 6. And 6 is the Aeolian. So we play the Aeolian pattern there. Now let's look at what the Aeolian pattern is. So here it is, root 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you compare that to the regular root pattern, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that 5 becomes a 6 with that offset on the A string, S2. Okay, so remember, here's your string descriptions. This is imaginary, it's underneath the string shape. Okay, so if we're on, let's say, a mixolydian here, what's underneath the mixolydian? The 5, 6, 7 is obviously 4, 3, 2. So that would be down here, 4, 3, 2. So we got the sunken string, we got S1, the low E string, we got S2, the A string, S3, the D string, S4, the G string. Now, when I tune this, I'm down C tuned. So C is the bottom note, so it tunes like this. Okay, if I put Mr. Capo where your actual fret nut is, it will tune normally. A little sour, a couple of those notes, but you get what the drift. I don't mean to be insensitive to my playing or tonality or all that, but the show must go on, right? So let's look at the root pattern now. We've renumbered Dorian, and we're going to renumber every one of the modes, right? Dorian root scale, offset equals +1. So if we want to take it to its fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. We're going to play the 6 pattern there. Now look at this. Let's look at a G encaged, open G. So with Mr. Fretnut here, we've got an open G here. Almost heaven. Okay. Okay. That, when I realized that song was in G, yeah, I said, wow, that is the whole thing. But you know, how could I have missed that? Anyway, when you have G and you have E, E becomes your 6th, so it's 6, 7 root. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. So here's your F sharp, here's your G. So that's why we have 6, 7 root. It would be E, F sharp, G in regular tuning, okay? But now we take that tuning anywhere. We take that Aeolian, that 6. So in the key of C, the 6 would be the A note here, like that. So when we get to the 5th of Dorian, we're going to add 1 because the offset's +1 to get to 6, and we're going to play that same string shape of 6, 7 roots. So we're going to go root 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can do the short pattern. Okay, so that's how that works. Off of any one of the Dorian modal scale members. Or we could go. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. We play the mixolydian 5, 6, 7 root 2. We go back down to that dominant 7th there. So that's how that works. So that's the important thing about this chart. Now, an important thing about this chart is I did a different thing for each mode. So this chart, I got bored with this. I went on and did this, and I said I don't want to make this for every single mode, and then ended up doing this in Phrygian. So it's different, but it's just the same thing. It's just another mode, but I've embellished this fretboard, the Phrygian count fretboard. And of course the green notes are root 3, 5. So that's another reason why we want to renumber. So we can go root 2, 3, 4, 5.